All right. Great news. I was able to score another penny box from the credit union. As you can see, it's unsealed, or it's still sealed. It's unbroken. So let's pop this open and see what we got. All right, we are open. And the magic moment. Let's see what we got. Okay, it's going to be a box of circulated. So I'll start going through this, and as soon as I find something interesting or unique or an error, I'll bring you back. Hopefully see you soon. So the newest out of the first box was a 2025, so it was a fairly recent box. It was not in storage or in the back of a vault at a bank. So, at least I know I can find these in there. Stay tuned, I'll bring you back for something actually interesting. Alright, first find of the box. From roll 4, it's a 1934 Philadelphia minted US wheat cent. But it looks pretty rough. It looks like it's taken a hit or two. It's kind of flattened out the back. So while it is a wheat, it is going to end up in my junk cull, basically destroyed copper bin. Hopefully I get something better than this. But so far, 4 rolls in, and I've gotten 24 if you include the wheat copper cents. Stay tuned. All right, in roll 5, I've got one 1949 wheat cent. Looks a little rough, bit worn, but it's got some character. Definitely going to keep that one. So, not a find yet, but you notice this little ridge right there? That little lip that's showing through. Normally that is an indicator for a heavily damaged cent. However, it has been a telltale sign of tilted collar cents. Tilted collar error. Basically means that the collar was a little slanted, a little offset, and the die slipped while striking. Just a hair. Just enough that some of the details might get taken off. I'll bring you back if it is indeed a damaged coin or if it is a tilted collar. Stay tuned. And it was neither. It was just some gunk that was attached to a coin. Figured I'd let you know. So find number 3 in the 17th roll. A 1965 Canadian. These are 98% copper. Just a little bit, a wee bit better than a copper Lincoln Memorial cent. I'll take it. Speaking of which, so far we've gotten 2 rolls completed, and 31, 32, and 33. And a couple that are just beyond reprieve. They're straight bullion. But I'll bring you back for the next one. 19th roll. Got a Canadian, and it is a 1998. So it's not copper. It is not steel. It's zinc. Coated in copper plating, much like the US cent. So this is one of the very few that will go back to circulation. Since it's in rough shape, it has no collector value, has no intrinsic value, it is worth just putting back into circulation for a penny. So I know it's hard to read, but on the 20th roll, got this funky looking 1919. Looks like it has a good amount of detail, but the funk on it is what keeps it from being readily readable. So I might do some conservation on it to get it to a collector status. This is not going to bullion. It's going to become a collector piece. In addition, that 20th roll also had a Canadian from 1993, so 98% copper. A little light in weight, but still good for copper stacking. See you on the next one. Find number 7 at roll number 25, 1944 Philadelphia minted. Wheat cent. Now, if only this was made of steel. That'd be a good payday. But, alas, it's only copper. Still, decent shape. Good for a collector piece. See you in the next one. And in roll 26, we got a 1945 Denver mint. Pretty decent shape. No obvious damage. It's a good hole filler and a decent collector piece. See you on the next find. And roll number 34, I did find a 2025 with a bad roller ring. I think that's the worst roller ring I've ever seen. But it does illustrate well that it would be a good idea to keep all 2025 set aside, because attrition is still happening. They are still getting dropped in parking lots. They are still getting destroyed by rolling machines. Food for thought. On to the next roll. Roll number 39. A 1965 Canadian cent. Nothing major, but still nice find. On to the next one. Assuming there is one, with so little left. Oh, okay, so out of one box of $25 in pennies, I pulled $3.86 in copper pennies from the box. Not including Canadians, but I got these rolls here, these here. A couple went to the absolutely destroyed, as you can tell. Yeah, they deserve to be over here. And one or two ended up in this pile over here. But still, in the end, that's not bad. That's a pretty decent return for $25 in pennies and be able to turn in the rest. Until next time, y'all have a good one.